everyone. This is Stefan here, and it's so good to see everyone here at the Australian Hypnosis Conference. How is everyone doing today?
You for lunch. No.
Fantastic. That's all right. That's all right, because I'm going to give you guys a little bit of, gold, because now they've got this 45 minutes to spread with you. And so what I'd like for everyone to do now, if everyone's sitting down, if everyone can give me a thumbs up, that'd be great.
Yep.
Awesome, brilliant. So what I'd like for you to do now is I'd just like for you now to check as to how you feel right now. For example, some people are feeling great, some people are feeling a little bit tired, some people are feeling energized, and they've already got a few things that they can use or utilize. And so what I'd like to do now is I'd like everyone just to stand up, everyone to stand up. Yep, everyone stand up out of their seats. Yep, everyone stand up out of their seats and sit back down. That's right, sit back down. And then stand back up. Stand back up, that's right, and sit back down. Fantastic, you guys are doing brilliantly. And do that one more time. Stand up, that's right. And as you sit down, I want you to notice now how you feel. That's right, sit down now. Sit down now and just notice how everyone feels. And what has changed? Something has changed, whether it be your nervous system, whether it be something else, but something has indeed changed. What has changed?
My bum's
More energy. Brilliant. Thank you.
Energy.
What else? Anyone else?
Yeah, definitely more energy.
Fantastic. Okay. And so what that is having a direct effect on one nervous system. It's a way of how I use my clients as well as my hypnosis audience to re-engage and re-plug in. And so, for example, Jeanette, can we unmute you, Jeanette? And so my talk today is really about conditioning. And so can you hear me, Jeanette?
Yes, I can, Stefan. I'm sorry, I'm eating my salad. It's messy. Okay.
I know, that's quite all right. And so what I want to do is I want to show you a little bit about conditioning. Would that be okay?
Yes.
Brilliant, awesome. So what I'd like for you to do now is just say the word pop 4 times. Go.
Pop, 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 pop.
And what do you do when you get to a green light?
Stop.
That's what I'm meaning about conditioning.
Yeah.
I know, it's so sad I picked you. But you see, exactly is how our unconscious minds work, is that we don't actually need to get people straight into trance in order to lead them down the garden path. You see, so Jeanette, if I were to do that again, say the word silk 4 times. Go.
Silk.
Yep.
Yep. Silk, 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 silk.
And what do cows drink? Come on, Jeanette.
I have no idea.
What do cows drink? Come on, Jeanette.
Milk.
No,
okay,
they drink water.
My mind.
It shows you that even with conscious engagement, that we can still be conditioned, even though that we are aware of it coming. You see, is that you realize on the first one, and then on the second that you realize that something else was, you realize that something else wasn't quite right, but you couldn't really identify what that was. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's water. Hey.
Yes, thank you. As you can tell, I have a lot of fun with this.
Yeah.
Some would say a flaming good time. Anyway, smoke alarm, smoke alarm, smoke alarm. All right, so Patricia, are you there? Thank you. Patricia, are you there? I know you are. Yep, if you can unmute yourself, that'd be great.
Hi, Stefan.
Hello from Hamilton. Yes. So I've just got one more for you. Say the word most 3 times. Go.
Most.
And what do you put in a toaster?
Toast. Yes, at the thing twice.
You put bread in a toaster, not toast, but in the same way. Yes. And so you see, and just having this little bit of what do you call it? Volume with about being human to your clients, as well as doing stage, instantly people aren't really worried about trance work or anything else, because that's really what people want. They want to identify with a human being. Okay, and so what I'd like to do is, Kerry, are you there? Or Lynn? Let's see if I can see someone who I haven't worked with yet.
I'm here.
Perfect. Excellent. So what would be your occupation, Kerry?
My occupation?
Yep.
Counsellor and clinical hypnotherapist.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Okay. And so what I'd like to do now is, would you like to have a little bit of an experiment with me?
Sure.
Yep. Okay. Are you holding on to the camera by any chance?
Yeah, I am, and I've got a bit of an injury in my shoulder, so if you need me to move in a hurry, I'm sorry I can't help you.
That's all right. Jeanette, I might use someone else. Thank you.
Yeah, no,
Jeanette,
that's cool.
are you there? Yep. So Jeanette, would that be okay if I use you just for this little thing about letting you become more aware of your unconscious mind? Because right from the get-go, we believe that the unconscious mind is almost like a switch. Would you agree?
I suppose so, yes.
Yep. Of course, if there's anything else, please feel free to let me know. And so it's almost like a switch, like we've got a brake and an accelerator.
Okay.
Does that sound, we've got conscious mind and then we've got the unconscious mind. Does that make sort of sense?
Yes.
And so neither two of them can be engaged at the same time, correct?
I'm not sure about that, but anyway.
Very good, because actually they can be. And so what I'd like to do is I'd like to show you a little bit about as to how that takes place. Would that be okay?
Okay,
Brilliant. Now, you and me have never met before, is that right?
that's correct.
We've never done anything. I've never rang you 5 minutes ago and said, hey, play along to this. I've never done anything like that, have I?
No, you have not.
Brilliant. Okay. And so would that be okay if I was to let you become aware as to that wonderful part of you?
Yes.
So what I'd like for you to do now is, are you sitting on a desk?
No, I'm sitting at a desk on a chair.
That's right. Thank you. So what I'd like for you to do is I'd like for you to put your hand up. Yep. And just drop the hand down. Yep. Perfect. And just relax those fingers, Jeanette. Fantastic. Now, 3 things are going to happen. Either 1, the hand's going to feel like it wants to move. 2, it will move. And 3, nothing at all. And if that happens, that's quite okay. I don't want you to consciously move it for me. I don't want you to consciously fight it. I just want you to allow this other part of you to come through. Is that okay?
Okay.
Thank you. So now I'm talking to Jeanette's unconscious mind. And I want to say, hello, I see you, I get you. I'm going to take real good care of you. And I'm going to take real good care of her. But as you're there discovering the nerves, the tendons, the fibers in the hand, wrists and fingers, I want to see if you can take Jeanette's hand and just twist it towards her face. If you could do that, I really appreciate it. Now, of course, I know this is your first time in doing this, so I don't expect you to be an expert at it. But as that unconscious mind figures out the nerves, the tendons, the fibers in that hand, wrists and fingers, and in its own time, that hand can start to turn. What's going on there? It's just turning all by itself. Now, are you doing that by yourself? You're not, are you, Jeanette?
Not consciously.
That's right. And so you can feel that hand turning, is that right?
I couldn't until you told me.
That's right. Well, because it's the first time you're doing this, that's why it just takes a few moments. And so which is more tingly now, the finger or the thumb?
Finger.
Finger, fantastic. As that tingliness increases now, that tingliness can flow into that wrist, and in its own time, that hand can start to turn. It's a very odd sensation. What's going on? It's just, can you feel that hand turning? But it's very small, bit by bit.
No, I can't feel the turn, but I know it's kind of different. Well, I can see it's different.
Fantastic. What's different about it?
It has turned.
It has. That's right. That's right. And that hand can just turn bit by bit. Even more as you continue to breathe, you continue to hear my voice, the hand's continuing to turn. Thank you. And I'd really like for that hand just to turn back towards me because I really got a few questions I'd like to ask it. That's right. Thank you. Hello. Now, did you do that, Jeanette? What's going on?
I had to consciously do it.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. And so as I'm talking to Jeanette's unconscious mind, if that wonderful part could show me a yes signal, how would it show me a yes signal? Thank you. Now, did you do that consciously? Thank you. All right. And if you could show me a no signal, how would that part show me a no? Thank you. Now, are you doing that consciously?
No.
That's right. And so what I'd like that wonderful part now to go deep inside Jeanette and bring up that part that is responsible for her imagination. And when that part is fully in that hand, I would like that yes signal to occur so that I understand. That's right. And as I check with conscious mind, thank you. I would like her to have a wonderful experience here today at the hypnosis conference. And so I would like that other hand just to be flat on the desk. All right. When that other hand is completely flat on that desk, I would like that yes signal to occur. Thank you. And now I would like that wonderful part. That's right, Jeanette's unconscious mind to bond that hand to that desk just for a time while we're doing this demonstration. Do what needs to be done in order for that to happen. And when that hand is completely stuck to that desk, I would like that yes signal to occur so that I know that she knows that it's completely stuck. That's right. And so, Jeanette, what I'd like for you to do now, thank you, is Jeanette's conscious mind. I would like for you now to test that hand and find out that hand will not move. How does that feel?
A little stuck.
A little stuck. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Well,
And so which is more stuck, the finger or the palm?
The fingers are
Thank you.
more stuck.
Thank you. And so I would like that wonderful part just to flow that glue down into the palm. Let me know when that's done with the yes finger. Thank you. Thank you. And of course, in a moment, I'll click my fingers and of course that hand will become unstuck. There we go. That hand can come down. Thank you so much, Jeanette. And so really, that's really a part of my approach to hypnosis. When I say hypnosis, I'm meaning for my stage, for my hypnotherapy work, everything that I do, that is my approach. Because when people can see that they have a conscious change without going into, without physically closing their eyes, that's when they know that something else absolutely has happened. Still today, a lot of people's conscious awareness of hypnosis is they have to be completely knocked out. They have to be completely under something or under a big, massive spell in order for anything to change. And so instantly having a finger move or a part of them feel different instantly is breaking down that old misconception, and it's much easier to re-engage your clients. Who would have thought something just as simple as standing up and sitting down could be quite powerful, even giving you more energy? And again, that wasn't a suggestion. If you think about it, that I did not suggest it. Do you have more energy? That was something that popped up. And so really it's about re-engaging. And very much in the same way that you can take an unconscious part, such as a finger or a hand, you can do the same thing with the eyelids. You can lock someone's eyelids together. Lynn, are you there? Oh, she's undercover. Lynn, are you there by any chance? She's disappeared. That's all right. Okay. And so I'm sure that we've got a lot of experienced hypnotists here to know about the eye lock, but very few of them actually see as to how important it can be. We just see it as a simple deepening exercise. But when the conscious mind identifies that they can't open their eyes, then it's almost we've taken that resistance of hypnosis or whatever it is that you're suggesting away. That resistance, not the suggestion, but the resistance itself. And so this can be incredibly powerful for any people, whether you're doing stage, whether you're doing street, or whether even you're doing any other forms of hypnosis. John, are you there by any chance, or are you in the background? No, he's disappeared. That's all right. Trish, have you got a business card on you by any chance?
Like
That's all right. A small piece of paper.
Card,
Perfect. Excellent. That'll do fine. Oh,
public transport card.
yep. Perfect. Excellent. So what I would like for you to do is I had to pick a white card, didn't I? And so what I'd like for you to do is I'd like for you just to bend the wrist down, just like so, and just focus on a corner. That's right. Just focus on a corner. That's right. And just squeeze that card nice and tight. And in your mind, I want you to say the words, I'm going to drop this. I'm going to drop this. Repeat that in your mind. And as you note with interest, that the card becomes completely stuck, glued, bonded, welded to your fingers. In fact, now when you try and drop the card, you find out that it's impossible. Try now and find out it's just stuck. Isn't that weird?
Hmm.
That's right. And of course, when I click my fingers, it drops. There you go.
It's stuck.
And so, again, it's a simple exercise, but people don't understand the value. And when you can take a 20-cent card and actually make it more than a business card, make it a memento of hypnosis, a promise that things can get better for someone who's depressed. You know, someone who says, "Oh, they can't hypnotize me." You can do this little exercise, and all of a sudden, it is no longer just a business card. It can be anything at all, and it is truly powerful. And how does that work? Is that when someone is holding on to a business card, and when you're instantly suggesting you're going to drop this, you're going to drop this, there's that cynical part of a person saying, I'm not going to drop it. It's not going to happen. It won't work. And instantly, that then is becoming the occupying thought, the occupying factor in their mind. And so here's very much, we've got the conscious and then we've got the unconscious. The unconscious mind's thinking, it's probably ain't going to drop. And so then instantly, you flip the table and you utilize that suggestion, that inner suggestion that they've already created for themselves. Very much like mind wipe, if you guys know anything about that. About when you've about something and it's just disappeared. You sort of remember what it was. It's almost like it's on the tip of your tongue, but you just can't quite remember. Very much in the same way as to how that we're creating these blockages for people on a conscious level, so the unconscious suggestion can be initiated. Any questions about that? Any, many, miny, mo. Cool. No, good. No questions. Awesome. So very much in the same way that this can also be done in a non-verbal sense. Is any of you who sort of believe that to be incorrect? That's good. That's good. And so that's really as to how my approach is to hypnosis. And that could be to stage, street, or even therapy. And so, Jeanette, have you got any questions for me at all? Just because I can't quite see you on the screen. Have you got any questions at all? No? Okay, good. She disappeared. Yeah, and so really that's how I work as a magician, as a hypnotist, is about finding out not necessarily what hypnosis is, but what it is to them. What the previous conditioning is to them. If they've been conditioned in a way that they think they can't be hypnotized, then of course there is a way around that. 20 years ago, if you look at hypnotic studies, some of the things that was the Elephant Man, how we could cure so-called incurable diseases. And that was because he was conditioned. Very much in the same way that people say that we can't be hypnotized. Again, they're conditioned. Everyone can be hypnotized. Why? Because we've all got 2 eyes, 2 ears, and a brain. You see, and so that's really as to how hypnotherapy can help just about everyone. Now, does anyone here do a hand clasp? No one does a hand clasp? Okay, all right. Yep. And so, Tricia,
yeah, that one.
yeah, hand clasp. So when you do a hand clasp, how do you do a hand clasp? Yep, perfect. Yep. Do you guys have a different one for stage? Yep. Okay, so here's one for you. Instead of like so, that you can also do that one. Have you actually tried that? Because that actually works really well. You wouldn't think it. Yep. Okay, and so thank you. So with the fingers coming together, that's a very, very basic test of suggestion. And that we bring our hands together, we put our fingers up, and we look at the gap, and instantly those fingers come together. Now, my approach to this is that we start with the fingers together. Very much. And when we start with our fingers together, unconsciously, this is where they're going to end up. And so when we pull them out, that's where they're going to end up. Very much in the same way if you do magnetic arms, magnetic hands. And that if you rub your hands together, that actually creates muscle memory. And so it's that plus the intention that's where they're going to go. You see? And because I've seen a lot of hypnotists and therapists do this with the hands out, and they actually don't put them together. And so, of course, it's very, very slow, and it's almost quite boring because they have to wait for hours and hours just to get those hands together. Whether if they actually do a bit of muscle memory, rub those hands together, create the intention, you get a lot faster results. And because of that, you're a lot more relaxed at the process. They're a lot more relaxed that you're relaxed at the process. And in my experience, they actually go deeper because those two things are happening. Any questions about that? No? Brilliant. Awesome. All right, so Tricia. Yep. If you could just unblock your microphone just for a second. Wonderful. Yep.
Sorry, I didn't realise I was caught.
That's right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do something a little bit more fun that you can do with just about a lot of different people. Okay? So are you right-handed or left-handed?
Right.
Perfect. What I'd like for you to do is I'd like for you now just to stick your right hand out like so. Yep. Perfect. Yep. And just put a corner in the screen. Fantastic. And just have a look at me. That's right. And I just want you now, just think about the people you love. That's right. See their faces, see their smiles. And as you do that, I want you just to imagine that hand almost like on an invisible desk. It's just hanging there. I just want you to imagine that now as you think about the people you love, see their faces, feel that smile. It's a superpower. And as you feel that love, as you see their smiles, I want you now to test their arm and just find out their arm's stuck. Isn't that strange? What's going on? What's going on? Are you genuinely testing that arm? I don't want you to try. But what's going on? How do you explain that?
It feels as though it's on a piece of elastic attached to the ceiling.
That's right. How do you explain that, Tricia? What's going on?
You
I haven't
explain,
said
please.
anything. I haven't called you prior to this or set anything up in any way, but what's going on?
That is weird. That put it down, Stefan. I can't put
Thank
my
you,
arm
thank
down.
you. That hand can come down. And so
Oh.
really, woo. And so what it is, Trisha, it's the driver of emotion. If you think about it, the approach was I first got you to think of the people you love most,
Yes.
and that being a driver for the suggestion. And so, this is effectively as to how we are all employed. Is the emotion of pain that I need to see, I need to get this changed. You see, and very much in the same way as to how people actually are in negative hypnotic states all the time because of the power of emotion. Could be that the cat's died. It could be that, they've had to move house or, tax or anything like that. But just think as to how powerful emotion can drive people, and you wouldn't think that far. But then, of course, having someone's hand stuck in the air due to emotion, having people go into a state of trance just by emotion is incredibly powerful when you think about it. So I really employ all of you to utilize these skills, these techniques, and what you're doing, put emotion to it, create a positive suggestion, and anything can happen. This can be anything, surgery, all sorts of different things can happen. Yeah. Any questions about that, Patricia?
I actually had when I had my hand out, I had four of my family members. Well, in fact, I had Walter was here. I had them all here.
Yeah.
I was sure who to hug first. I wasn't sure who I should hug first, and it was quite funny. I could subconsciously, consciously feel the uncertainty of what I should be doing next, and I found it quite amusing. On a subconscious, conscious level.
Absolutely. But you see, again, the main driver was emotion.
Yes, it was. Yeah, absolutely.
Now, when I say emotion, not just the emotion of thinking of these people, but the hierarchy in which you should think of them.
Yeah, they snapped in straight away, just like that.
Yep. And the same thing with even young people. Emotion is still a massive driver. And so really that's something that can really be done from any age or skill level. Emotion. And so even for someone who is blind, that you can use emotion to get them to stop smoking. You can use emotion to get them stuck in a chair. You can use emotion to help them get over their previous partner who took half of their house, took half of their income. You can use emotion and it really is powerful. But also you can use emotion for stage hypnosis. Just think about it. The majority of stage hypnotists, they use what people's ideas are on stage, making them cluck like a chicken. I have never, ever done that, and I never will. In fact, I really engage people's emotions. I say, right, what would you like to see? What would you like to see? Oh, I'd like to be in Paris again, blah, blah, blah. Great. I'll make that happen for them on stage. And I tell you what, they walk away with those memories of being in Paris, even if it is for a few short minutes. It is incredibly impacting and powerful. And that to me is far better than any person hypnotizing them for a chicken or to make them be a chicken. And so really that's really all I've got for today. But it just shows you the power of your own minds.
And it also
And the
builds up
massive responsibility that we all have. Thank you.
And it also builds up confidence as well. So, because we do have this stigma around being a hypnotist where people go, oh, it's not real, or you try, my uncle didn't work, and they take that on because they're already in rapport with those people. But if you can,
Absolutely.
Yeah, and if you can show them what you can do, just that quick little trick with the milk, the silk, the most, the toast and things like that, or even the art of potato, that's one of my favorites. And, it just opens up people's minds towards possibility that you might be the one that can help them make a shift and make a change. So, yeah, so go out there and demonstrate it. And Stefan, the first time you ever did a stage show, you were probably nervous as all shit, weren't you?
So the first time I did my stage show, it ran for 3.5 hours.
Phew, that's a first one.
And that's available on my YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, it's obviously not the whole 3 hours. It's little snippets of it, but it was very interesting time. Yeah.
And you go out and you show people what you can do. We can all talk it, but can we walk it? Like, that's the difference. And I know that was something that I really struggled with when I started out. Like, I didn't even want to tell people I was a hypnotherapist, but I had this great thing I could help people with. And then I just learned a couple of little tricks and things like that. And all of a sudden, rather than, them saying, "Oh, what do you do?" I'm like, "Let me show you that I'm a hypnotherapist. Would you like to do something with me?" And I guarantee you, 99% of the time, they'll say yes, or they'll go, "No, I can't be hypnotized." I'm like, "That's fine. Don't worry about it."
Yep,
Right?
yep. But you see, and that's one of the great things about us is that we don't even need to mention that we're hypnotists at that stage. We can just say, "Hey, would you like to see something really interesting?" And then you pull one of those out.
Yep.
Ta-da! And then, of course, then the unconscious is engaged, and then you can say, "I'm a hypnotherapist. Imagine this." Boom. You're away, because then they're focusing on the positives, not the negatives of their own mind.
And you're that one that resonates with them. Like, it's instant rapport, isn't it?
Absolutely. And it's so fun being able to do this, not just for adults, but also for people who are in pain, for children, for bedwetters who just are sick of talking about it or seeing doctors, young people who are into self-mutilation and all of that. Is so much better for them to have a different sort of view. Oh, who's this guy? Bang. Then they start to see things that, hey, this guy's something else.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for that, Stefan. Next we have Christian Scoresmith, and he is talking about working with transgender clients. So please join me for that. We do have about half an hour, but otherwise from that, finish off your lunches and we'll see you in about 30 minutes time. So thanks, Stefan.
Thank you, Stefan.
Enjoy the rest of the conference. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye.